leaving his special place on the lawn, the huge fallen tree trunk he imagined to be a ship. From the bow of his ship he had commanded many imaginary voyages to India and China, encountering pirates and deserted islands along the way. The next day, a coach arrived at the house for the family. Ernest ran to his make-believe ship to watch the proceedings. His younger brother, 4-year-old Frank, trailed behind asking questions. Most of them were easy to answer. No, the Shackleton family wouldn't be coming back to Kilkea House in County Kildare to live. They didn't own the place. They leased it. Yes, their 4 sisters were coming too, and Nanny. And no, he didn't know if there was a big tree trunk on the lawn for their new house in Dublin. But he hoped so. Ernest watched his mother carry baby Eleanor to the coach. Nanny followed with Amy and Ethel. His older sister, 8-year-old Gertrude, walked behind carrying extra clothes for the little ones. "Ernest, Frank, it's time to go," Ernest's mother called. Frank ran to the coach, but Ernest hesitated. He looked up at the second-floor window of the room where he was born on February 15th, 1874. He had never lived anywhere else and loved his life as an Anglo-Irish farmer's son. It was hard to imagine a different life. To cheer himself up, Ernest hummed his favorite song, "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are, Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky." As he hummed, he thought of all the times he had lain on his ship, watching the sun set over Mullacreelan Hill and the stars appear in the night sky. "Ernest, come here," Henrietta Shackleton called again. This time he jumped down and raced to his mother. He couldn't put it off any longer. It was time to leave. The coach, pulled by 4 horses, rolled through the countryside. It was early autumn, and the hedgerows were covered with ripe blackberries, which Ernest would have loved to eat. Instead, he peered out the window as the driver reached the crossroad and turned northward toward Ballator. He knew the road well. He had often traveled it to visit relatives. 6 miles in the other direction lay Castledermot, where his grandmother on his mother's side lived. Her family had lived in Ireland since before the 12th century, while his father's family had settled there over 150 years before. Ernest knew the story well. His ancestor, Abraham Shackleton, was a Quaker who moved from his home in Yorkshire, England, to Ballator to tutor Quaker children. He had started a school that became one of the best boys' boarding schools in Ireland. Even so, Ernest felt sorry for the boys who went there. They arrived from all over the world at 5 years old, and some never saw their parents again until graduation at 18 years of age. Ernest loved his parents, and it was hard to imagine not seeing them each day, much less being without them for 13 years. After a day's travel, the coach pulled into a narrow street lined with a terrace of identical 2-story red brick houses. "Here we are, number 35 Marlborough Road," Henrietta told her children. "Remember that, so if you ever get lost, you can tell someone where you live, and they will point you homeward." Ernest noted the address. He loved roaming around the fields in Kilkea and was sure he would love exploring Dublin on his own as well. Soon everyone settled into a new routine. His father studied or tended the roses in the garden. When the weather was good, Nanny took the children for walks in St. Stephen's Green, while Ernest's mother rested. She had told Ernest that another baby was on the way. Although he hoped for a brother, it was another girl, who was named Clara. Soon after they arrived, Ernest's parents hired a governess to teach their eldest son to read and write. Each day Ernest had lessons at home with the governess. As part of the boy's education, his father sometimes came to the nursery to talk about what was happening in the world. It was difficult for Ernest to understand what made the Irish want their country to be independent from Great Britain. All he knew was that his father thought...